Hey guys, Marmalade here. Welcome to another episode of tips for older hikers and backpackers. On this one, it's something I definitely can relate to, and probably a lot of you older hikers can, and that is not being intimidated by technology. It's not only not as bad as we think to use, at least for hiking and on trail, but it could save your life. I can give you a couple apps that I use. It was formerly Gut Hook, now it's called Far Out, and I'll try to show a picture of the logo here. And that's what we use on trail. So as opposed to Google or some of the other apps, it doesn't cover like the whole United States. What you do is you buy trails. So like in my case, you buy the whole Pacific Crest Trail, or if you like, when I first started, I just bought Southern California when I was just section hiking and hiking local. And then I bought the whole trail once I decided I was going to do the trail. But what's great about this is the app works offline. So most of the time on trail, when you're remote, you don't have service. It talks to satellite, so it works all the time. You can look at a view like this that's topo from the top looking down, or you can look at elevation screen here where it shows you what you have coming up climb-wise. What I love too is it has all these icons where it has a little tent for campsites. You open it up, there's actual pictures of the campsites, and then people leave, the biggest thing is they leave live comments. And even more important than the tent sites is water sources. So traditionally what you do is when you're on trail, you get to a creek. Right now, I'll look on the app and see, okay, well, how many miles is my next water source? And that tells me how much water to bring. You adjust for heat or cold, you might drink less or more depending if it's hot or cold. And the main thing is, water, as we know, is heavy, so you don't want to carry a bunch of water if you don't have to. So yeah, check it out. They're adding more and more major trails and smaller major trails. So that's great. The other app that I use more than that, just for my everyday hiking, like when I'm out here hiking, is Gaia, G-A-I-A, Gaia. There's a free version. I pay, I think it's around $20 a year. And I'm thinking I'm upgrading to the 40, I think the max is $40 a year. It gives you a lot more map overlays and a lot more information. But you can literally, every single peak I do when I do the San Diego 100 Peaks list, you can even do, I know my friend Rick, when they did their JMT hike last year in 2021, he laid out every single day and changed the color of the route, so like planned each day, so that he had his whole 211 miles routed out. Obviously things, you end up going further or shorter depending on what happens, but you can do that. Why I like it is a couple of reasons. For me, my only fear out in nature, especially remote places, is getting lost. So I can follow the route, especially when I'm doing peaks in the middle of nowhere in the desert. I can do peaks, and generally there's a lot of areas where there's no trails. So this line, I can open my app once in a while and make sure I'm headed in the right direction. Also, when you start your hike, so I have a route that I'll lay out ahead of time, but then when I start the hike, I hit record, and I record, and that tells me exactly what I did for the day, miles and elevation. And that's the other thing, when you lay out a route ahead of time, say you want to go do a day hike in your area, you lay out the route, it'll tell you exactly how far it is and how much elevation and climb and how difficult. So I've preached and preached, when you're a new hiker, for my new hiker series, is not biting off too much at the beginning. So by laying it out first on Gaia, you can see right away if it's going to be a hike that you can handle or not. So that's great. So to sum up this topic, just be open to technology. I use some other apps for when I'm doing it's off topic, but when I do my SUV living, I want to look for some BLM land, some free public land. There's apps I use for that too. So this is about backpacking and hiking, but it's really, I've slowly grown to use it more and more and more. And like I said, I use Gaia the most, and when I'm on a major trail, I use Far Out. I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.